Past 10:30 here. What a great turnout. Thank you everybody for coming. My name is Tara and I'm the Director of Leisure Services, so the Director of Parks for the city. And it has been so phenomenal to work with the Terrace Community Foundation, Terrace Community Forest, and obviously to come together for this event to celebrate the 50th anniversary it's just great to be here today. Every little section of trail that's built just makes this community more livable and more pleasant to live in. And Amelia here loves trails as well. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that made this possible, and I really look forward to this small celebration today. And what a thing to celebrate 50 years of marriage. I'm not going to say too much more because I have Councillor Ramsey here with the city to say a few words as well. And then I'll hand it over to Norm, who's going to talk about actually why we're here today. Okay, thank you. Pardon me. Oh, and I'm so sorry. And Christy Morin of BC Hydro is here as well. And she came all the way from Prince George yesterday just to be here and to talk about BC Hydro's contribution, which is of course the land. So thank you everybody.
Yeah, and the City of Terrace is excited to be here. The mayor wishes she could. I'm here in her stead. She's out of town. And she sends her regrets. But we are excited to join Howe Creek in celebrating the Hydro Extension Trail. And we'd like to thank everyone who made this possible, specifically BC Hydro, Terrace Community Foundation, Terrace Community Forest, and last but not least, Norman Drieger and Susan Vanderbilt, who donated the money to build this trail in honor and in dedication to Norman's parents, Henry and Rose Drieger, for their 50th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
This project has resulted in the formalizing of a section of trail connecting the Lanphier Hill Tree Park to Park Avenue, and this is another small step in creating a more connected pedestrian network in our community. One day it would be great to see the Howe Creek Trail connect to the Grand Trunk Pathway.
Yes.
So that's the goal. And I appreciate everyone for coming out today and for cake. And if there's some kids, we could probably blow up some balloons, keep them occupied. And I'm going to move it over to BC Hydro.
Yes, thanks for having me. Happy anniversary. We're very honored that we were able to make this trail happen with the City of Terrace. So I don't have very much to say. So thank you very much, guys, for having us.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, and I'd just like to say a couple of words on behalf of Terrace Community Foundation. So I'm the chair of the foundation right now, Norm Perry. And we have our board members. Anybody that's got a t-shirt or a badge are active board members. There's 7 of us, and we just are having a great time being part of this community foundation. And one of the nice things is we do get to partner with the city. They supply us with money each year to give out community grants and been very supportive of our foundation. And then we have various groups right now, but one of the that support the foundation, and one of the solid ones was Rose and Henry. And they started with a name foundation not too long ago, but even before that they were looking for ways to give to the community. And you can see their names popping up in various places. They had this bench that was over here that had been done and is now being redone, you know, with work to make this happen here. But there's a lookout at the Calum Park that's called the Drieger's Corner, I think, and it's just really nice to see. And they've also given us money to, and we've used that to build trails. Hay Bear Trail was part of that money that we used, the Drieger. So they're often even behind the scenes, but they've started a name fund, and we kind of will be using the interest from that name fund in forever. So their legacy will live on in Terrace in each year, or whenever we get enough interest build up on a fund, we use it in a worthy cause. And they've given us a broad range of options, but basically to make Terrace a more beautiful place. And you know, their interest is in trails, if that works, but there's also you know, just to make Terrace a better place. So we're so happy to have you as you know, as our rocks, you know, a good example of a sponsor for Terrace Community Foundation. So on here, we just thought we'd line up, but this is actually their day. July 31st is their 50th wedding anniversary. I know, and And it's nice to celebrate this on the day. And I know Carol, by the way, Carol and Ed Harris also had a 50th wedding anniversary just last week, I think it was, and 2 weeks ago, and they actually met in the registry office, Carol and 50 years ago, and I don't know if they actually knew each other, but it was down in Burnaby someplace, and they just bumped into each other. So.
We knew each other for a long time.
Yeah.
We've been colleagues at Caledonia for many years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what we'll do is we have a ribbon cutting ceremony, and we want to cut the ribbon and open up that trail. We have cake in honor of the trail opening and the 50th wedding and coffee after we do that. And and then the trail is open to public, and there's a couple of plaques in there that we can have a look at as you go by. That's recognizing Hydro for their land donation and recognizing the donation that came from Norman and Susanna, which I think that was unfortunate they couldn't be here, but it was a COVID-related thing with their kids. Were too young to have the vaccine, so they'd had a quarantine for a couple of weeks. So we're sending them our best wishes through this videos, and it would have been real nice to have them here, but we'll meet them when they do come for sure. Unless did you want to say anything? I didn't even talk to you about that. But before we get to the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Sure. Well, I'd just like to say thank you for coming. You know, it really is quite amazing to reach 50 years of married life. It just sort of creeps up on you. And I guess I picked a winner.
Arguments there.
Yes, for sure.
I want to say hello to Norman and Susanna, who will be watching this. I guess in Sweden right now, where they're holidaying. They just came from Denmark. Rather than coming to be with us, they took a northern holiday and will be there in Sweden for another 10 days or so with Maya, Jan, and Benno. And yes, we do miss you a lot. Wish you were here. Thank you, all of you who have come, and I'm impressed with the partnership, the extensive partnership, Norm, that you are part of in this community. You've mentioned, I think, most of them. You didn't. I'm not sure if you mentioned the Forestry Foundation or the Community Forest, of which you chair as well. But very pleased to see the trail being extended. Evan, you're listening. On the way to the Millennium Trail, right? And it's not that far anymore. I hope to see it one day completed. And don't forget that Howe Creek also extends to the east. There's the wonderful extension possibility up the Howe Creek Valley to a beautiful waterfall, especially in the wintertime. Most terrace people have missed that opportunity. They're missing that trail. There used to be a boardwalk. Would be nice to see that again. Anyhow, keep that in mind with your colleagues.
Always pushing.
Hey, it's wonderful to see the work that has been done on this trail in the last few years in particular. It's wonderful to see other volunteers in the community. The Torca people, the biking people. You know, most of us who love the outdoors, we also love their trails, don't we? And it's great to see people volunteering. I even saw in the paper the other day that a group of young people from the high school who want to be involved with Terrace Beautification Society. Good to see. Let's encourage people who are community-minded like that, and that includes pretty well all of you, I'm sure. Otherwise you wouldn't be here, I think. So thank you for joining us for this personal occasion, a lovely occasion for us. And we've walked this trail before it was an official trail. We've walked most of the trails around here. We've been here for some time, so that explains that. So thank you, Norman, for coordinating all of these things and all these people and organizations. And yeah, it's an experience that we should appreciate and enjoy and celebrate. So thank you.
Okay, it looks like we'll have a ribbon cutting ceremony here, but Henry did remind me that I did forget, and there was an invite out to the Terrace Community Forest to attend here, because they did sponsor this bench, and there's a bench down here for Otto Grunman. And JJ did the carving, wonderful job. And this is for Norman and Susanna here on their 10th anniversary, but it was a fish theme because that's what they liked. And the forest man down there was from Otto that donated this land for the park. So this is just a magnificent. The city's done a great job of keeping this up. It's a jewel of Terrace, I think. So. And Beautification Society. And Beautification Society, they do a great job. But the Terrace Community Forest is an active sponsor, and a lot of the proceeds that the city owns the forest, community forest. Any proceeds go back to the city so they can do some things, and now we have a partnership with them to put some money into the trails. And that one that Rose talked to me about, to the waterfall, I went in there. If you haven't seen that in the winter time, it's spectacular. So we are going to get a trail in there. It's on the Terrace Community Forest agenda to make that happen. So it will happen. And thanks for pushing that again. So we'll go over here and cut the ribbon. It'll be just a few of us, and then Henry and Rose will cut the ribbon, and we'll come back and cut the cake.
Maybe I could remind you of one thing. If you look down the road, you will see Susanna's grandparents' old home. The Brum family home, where Susanna's mum, who's right there.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Grew up there for a number of years.
Oh,
So it adds another personal touch in this corner.
very nice. So we'll go over here and cut the ribbon. It'll be just a few of us, and then Henry and Rose will cut the ribbon, and we'll come back and cut the cake. I don't know how it's going to work for photography. Yep. Yeah,
Hold your hands on it.
Yeah.
And then,
Awesome.
and we'll just
Okay,
smile.
Okay.
ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Do it in your own time.
Okay, cut away.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yay, look at that. Good.
Oh, that's like butter.
Want a balloon, sweetie?
We're almost separated.
Anniversary, you guys.
Happy anniversary.